Chapter 72. Two-star scenario. Looking for heaven inside the well? Chenay looked at the boy and was suddenly reminded of something. His emotions were running wild. He turned around to take a deep breath to calm himself down. Thankfully, the woman did not notice his weird reaction. However, as he turned back around, he lowered his head and saw the boy has been staring at her. The glow in his eyes similar to earlier when he saw Shu Wan in Mortician's makeup. "Fan Yu, it's time to go home," the woman repeated. Finally, the boy moved away from the well. Even though he still had his head lowered, his mood seemed to have improved. However, after they exited the haunted house and the sunlight fell on the party, the boy returned to how he had been before, silent, with an unbridled fear circulating in his eyes. It was hard to tell whether he was afraid of light or living humans. The woman thanked Chenay before leading the boy away. After the pair left New Century Park, Chenay sighed in relief. The black phone in his pocket vibrated. He sat on the steps as he thought back on what had happened earlier. Looking for heaven inside the well. Perhaps for the boy this was not meant in a metaphorical manner. After conversing with the woman, Chenay knew she had lied to the boy by saying that his parents had gone to somewhere called heaven, so that he would not be too sad. She had probably hoped that the boy would come to the realization as he grew up, but things did not go as planned. The boy's psychological health was stunted. He could no longer be considered a normal young boy. However, the thing that surprised Chenay the most was the boy's answer when he asked what he was doing beside the well. His parents had gone to heaven, and the boy kept on searching for heaven inside the well. Did this not prove indirectly that the boy had seen his parents shoved into the well with his own eyes? Their bodies are inside the well. Chenay lit a cigarette unknowingly. He did not hurry to call the police but continued his line of speculation. The boy's parents were both teachers at Muang High School, and one of the side quests activated on the black phone is related to both Muang High School and a well. If this is not a coincidence, then the disappearance of the boy's parents should be related to Muang High School. Chenay took out the black phone, and there was an unread message. He opened it. Different choices lead to different result. The first special visitor has left. You made the correct choice during the visitation period. Congratulations for obtaining the reward. Unlocked Hidden Trial Mission, Muang High School. This mission is part of the 4-star scenario, School of the Afterlife's side mission. Completing it will unlock a 2-star scenario, Muang High School, and lower the trial mission difficulty for School of the Afterlife. Muang High School Trial Mission, Scream Factor 2 stars. This scenario has 4 side missions. Survive after experiencing all of them, and the scenario will be unlocked. Mission Venue, Muang High School. Mission Request. Arrive at the mission venue before 11 p.m. tonight and survive until dawn. Mission Hint. Everyone has a deep well inside their heart where shameful and unknowable secrets stay buried. Do you wish to accept the mission? Warning. Trial mission is only active for 24 hours. If you do not accept it within 24 hours, you will forfeit the mission and the scenario will forever be locked. The message on the black phone flustered Chenay. He did not expect the reward for accepting a special visitor would be the unlocking of a 2-star scenario's trial mission. He had already experienced the terror of a trial mission at Ping An Apartments. It was much more dangerous than a nightmare mission, and Ping An Apartments was merely a 1-star trial mission. Chenay memorized all the information on the screen as he looked through the black phone again and again. The previous mission required me to find the murderer, while this mission only requires me to stay alive until dawn. It looks simpler in comparison, but the black phone must have its reasons to label this a 2-star mission. Its level of danger has to be higher than Murder by Midnight's trial mission. To survive, it sounded like a simple demand, but it greatly unsettled Chenay. The offer of the trial mission would be open only for 24 hours, and this was a great point of contention for Chenay. He did not know if surrendering this mission would affect the development of the 4-star scenario, School of the Afterlife. Even though based on his current situation, unlocking a 4-star scenario was practically impossible, he would still feel pain if he had to surrender it. Forfeiting this mission might mean forfeiting School of the Afterlife. Two losses at once is indeed too big a loss. Chenay measured the pros and cons in his heart. Not accepting it means losing 2 scenarios, but if I manage to complete the mission, it means unlocking a 2-star scenario, and it will also complete the side missions for School of the Afterlife. The haunted house requires constant updates to retain the repeat visitors. This 2-star scenario comes at the right time, so I should give it a try. New Century Park was facing closure, and he needed to create results within 3 months, something that was impossible with the current haunted house. After some thought, Chenay decided to accept the mission. After the message disappeared, Chenay decided not to waste any more time. He called Shu Wan to inform her to look after the haunted house for the rest of the day because he had to go somewhere else. The boy was the key that activated the trial mission for Muang High School, and Chenay believed he would be able to get more information from him. Chenay ran out the park entrance and saw the boy and the woman get on a bus. Route 14. Chenay hailed a cab and told the driver, "Go to the next stop for Route 14. The taxi reached the station arrived earlier than the bus, which arrived 1 minute later. The bus was crowded, and the woman was holding the boy in her arms as they were squeezed to the back of the bus. They did not discover Chenay. Following them home might nab me some surprise discoveries. Chenay did not hurry to expose himself, but stood at the front of the bus. The bus continued to pass 7 stations, and many passengers descended as the surroundings outside the bus became more and more deserted. When they almost reached the final station, the woman and the boy finally got off. They did not walk down the street, but turned down a small, secluded path. They live at such a secluded place? Then again, the woman did mention finding many doctors for the boy that would burn a hole in the family finances. Chenay trailed behind them. A short distance later, the woman and the boy suddenly increased in pace. Have I been discovered? Or are they hiding from something else? Chapter 73. Red and Black. The dilapidated paths crisscrossed like a maze. Afraid of being left behind, Chenay also picked up the pace. After many turns, a squat 2-story terrace block appeared before his eyes, and it was into this place that the woman and the boy disappeared. The drains surrounding the building were fetid with a horrible stench, and a large poster stating that the original tenants had moved was pasted on the first floor. Everywhere Chenay turned, there was rubbish piling up either at the corner or directly on the floor. Chenay walked toward the building, and many questions floated up his mind. The pair lived in such a horrible environment, so this meant that their living conditions were too good. However, at the park, the woman readily pulled out 100 RMB just for the boy to visit the haunted house. This went to show how much she cared for the boy. Yet, the boy was cruelly indifferent to her. He had said only 2 phrases while he was inside the haunted house, and they were both directed at Chenay. The boy seemed to dislike the woman vehemently. Is it because of his mental issues, or is something more sinister at work? After walking up the stairs, Chenay realized there was only one tenant residing on the 2nd floor. The corridor was swept clean, and there was laundry hanging on poles. Is anyone in? The door was open, but Chenay still knocked on the door out of courtesy. Coming! Footsteps could be heard coming from inside the room. When she saw Chenay, she was visibly stunned. Why are you here? Did we cause some damage when we visited the haunted house? The woman asked cautiously. No, it's not that. I'm just interested in the little boy's situation, and I have something to ask him. Chenay realized the woman did not show any sign of wanting him inside the house, so he continued. I have some friends at Zhejiang Medical University, and I thought maybe they can help. Thank you, but it's all right. The woman rejected him without thought. Then again, Chenay also felt like he was being a little too forward. I am really not a bad person. You can look on your phone for today's Zhejiang morning news. Since the woman did not move, Chenay took out his own phone to look for an article on him helping to solve the Ping An apartment case. Look, I've once helped the police solve a buried case and was awarded a Medal of Honor. Chenay passed the phone to the woman, and she took a glance at it. Supernatural live streamer trapped and was finally saved by the police? The intrepidness of a haunted house operator almost caused his death? Ignore the headlines. There should be my picture inside the article. Chenay explained for a long time before the woman put her suspicion aside. She returned his phone to him and said, "Come in for a seat then. Just leave the door open." "Okay." The woman led Chenay to the living room, which was more like a 30 square feet space that had a dining table and beds pushed to the corners. "Forgive the mess. I wasn't expecting any visitors. Would you like to have something to drink?" The woman was embarrassed. In that moment, Chenay could see the boy's shadow on her. "That won't be necessary. I just want to ask some questions about the boy's parents." Chenay took out his phone to record anything he deemed important. "It has been so long already. Why are you asking that now?" Regardless, the woman sat down across from Chenay and told him everything that had happened at Muang High School 3 years ago. 3 years ago, Muang High School had still been a normal school. That summer day, it had poured down with rain. When the boy's parents returned home, the boy had been nowhere to be found. They had gone out to search for him, but in the end, it was the boy who had returned and not them. This sounds like the reason for the parents' disappearance is also because of the boy. Chenay recorded the key points that was given by the woman on his phone. He tried his best to recreate the event. Fan Yu's parents had realized that their child was missing after they came home after work. When they went out to look for him in the pouring rain, the last place they had been seen was unknown. But their bodies were most likely trapped under the water well at Muang High School, and the boy was probably the sole witness of the whole event. It was also probably because he had witnessed the whole process that Fan Yu had become like this. Chenay looked at the surface of the table and frowned. He pulled out the black phone to look for the details of the side missions for School of Afterlife. The description for Side Mission 6, Deep Well, was, "One brother and one sister went to school, but how come no one returned?" The black phone would not make a mistake, so what did the pair of siblings have to do with Fan Yu's parents? According to the hint on the black phone, it was the siblings who fell into the well and not the boy's parents. Why was that? Chenay put the black phone away and looked at the woman with tears in her eyes. He asked with uncertainty, "Is Fan Yu an only child? Does he have brothers or sisters?" The moment the question left his lips, the woman's expression changed. Her nails scratched deep into her skin, and her tears fell freely. "If the accident did not happen to my 2 children, then Xiao Yu would have had a brother and a sister to play with." "Your children?" Before Chenay entered the room, he had noticed that the clothes hanging on the rods outside were mostly women's and children's, so he had assumed the woman was not married. They died when they were still very young, mere toddlers. The woman was on the verge of a breakdown. She blurted a quick sorry before escaping into the kitchen to collect herself. "Then, Fan Yu does have a brother and sister, but according to the woman's description, they passed away a long time ago. Why would the black phone say the pair of siblings did not return home after school? Why would toddlers attend school? Is the black phone mistaken, or is the woman lying? Or was Fan Yu hallucinating?" The woman stayed inside the kitchen for a long time. Chenay stood up and headed toward the only other room in the house. Fan Yu should be inside. He was the focal point of this whole mystery. Chenay pushed open the door, and the bedroom he stepped into was very clean. Fan Yu was standing before the table, seemingly writing something. Chenay walked up to the boy and looked over his shoulder. He realized the boy was drawing, and he had a preference for black and red colors. "Xiao Yu, what are you drawing?" Afraid that he might spook the boy, Chenay spoke in a soft voice. The boy turned to look at Chenay but did not answer. He turned back to focus on his drawing. As he continued to add colors, the picture on the paper started to materialize. In a pure black house stood several red miniature humans. After finishing the drawing, the boy crumpled the paper up and threw it onto the floor before starting a new drawing. Chenay stood and watched for a long time. He realized the central theme of Fan Yu's drawings comprised of only these 2 things, a black house and small red humans. What is he trying to convey? Chenay picked up the finished drawing from the floor and flattened it out. After studying it for some time, he silently slid it inside his pocket.